Okay, let's talk about some really unsettling experiences today. Things that happen in places you think are safe or just, normal.
Absolutely. We're recounting 3 stories, first-hand accounts shared online, all connected to sports settings, but where things took a seriously creepy turn.
Exactly. These aren't about the game itself. They're about that moment when something feels wrong, deeply wrong. We're talking high school gyms, local parks.
Familiar places turning frightening.
Right. So our first story takes place after a high school basketball game. Pretty unimportant match, apparently. Not many people there. The person telling the story, one of the players, had a bit of a rough game.
Yeah.
Got some nasty trash talk directed at him, personal stuff.
Yeah, sounds like comments about his appearance, which is low.
Totally. Anyway, he misses a shot and he just snaps, shoves into the player.
Oof. Gets ejected.
Yep, ejected. He said he didn't even regret it at the time, just wanted out. So he heads to the locker room.
But that's where it gets weird. The main door, locked.
Right. So instead of going back and facing the coach, he remembers this back entrance. Usually kept shut.
But tonight, it was unlocked.
Exactly. So he goes in, and immediately, it's like hitting a wall of cold air.
Freezing. And pitch black inside. No lights on.
And he didn't have his phone, so no flashlight. He pulls the back door closed behind him.
Big mistake.
Oh, yeah. He's feeling his way along the wall in the dark, and then he hears it. A click.
Like a locker latch.
Yeah. Unmistakable sound of a locker shutting. He calls out, thinking maybe a teammate is messing around.
But nothing.
Just silence.
Yeah.
He can sort of make out the shapes of the lockers, rows of them. Starts walking down an aisle.
And then...
Footsteps. Definitely footsteps. In the dark. Coming from another aisle.
Oh no, that feeling, knowing you're not alone.
Exactly. Pure dread. He gets to the end of his aisle and peeks around. And he sees something.
What did you see?
Just a glimpse. A large figure moving quickly behind the opposite row of lockers.
Yeah.
Like ducking out of sight.
Okay, time to leave.
Absolutely. He turns right around, goes back to that main door he tried first. Now it's locked. From the inside.
Oh, come on. Trapped.
Trapped in the cold and dark with something. He panics a bit, but finds the light switch near that main door. Flips it on.
Okay, lights on. A little better, maybe?
A tiny bit.
Yeah.
He feels he has to see who's in there. So he starts walking the aisles again, looking.
Does he find anyone?
No. He sees nothing but the footsteps. They start again.
Where?
Always in the aisle next to his, but on the other side of the lockers. He walks down one way, the steps go the other way. He stops, they stop.
Like they're mirroring him, playing games.
Exactly. Just keeping pace, hidden by the lockers. Super creepy. Then he notices something else.
Wow.
These small gaps, like little holes drilled between some of the lockers. Maybe for ventilation, I don't know.
Okay.
Gets down low, puts his eye to one of the holes, trying to see into the next aisle. At first, just darkness, like something's blocking the view from the other side. And then he realizes
What was it?
it was an eye, staring right back at him through the hole.
Get out! No!
He didn't need telling twice. Scrambled back to that rear entrance, the one he came in, and just bolted.
Yeah.
Ran faster than he ever did playing basketball.
I bet. Did he tell anyone?
Found his coach, who was obviously mad about the ejection, but he told him what happened. The coach was skeptical at first, maybe thought it was the janitor.
But the player was terrified.
Yeah, visibly shaken. And when he mentioned the freezing cold and the open back door, the coach seemed to realize something was genuinely wrong.
Did they check?
Yeah, the coach actually stopped the game for a minute, took some of the team, went back to the locker room.
Was anyone there?
Gone. Whoever or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Just vanished. The back door was still open, room still cold, but empty.
But that's not quite the end, is it?
No. There's this really unsettling follow-up. After the game, when everyone's changing, 4 freshman players find their lockers empty.
Empty how?
Clothes gone. Just missing. And their lockers were all in the same aisle.
The aisle where he heard the footsteps.
Exactly. Makes you wonder what that figure was doing in there. And why take the clothes? So disturbing.
It really is. Just leaves this cold spot thinking about it.
Okay, let's move outside for our next story. Away from the building, but no less creepy. This involves an outdoor hockey rink.
Right. The person telling this one was there watching his younger brother's game.
Yeah, gets a bit bored maybe. He and his girlfriend decide to walk off to a quieter spot. A wooded area nearby.
An area with a kind of ominous local nickname, right?
Yeah, they called it the Burning Woods. Apparently because the trees were really dense, blocked out light. Kind of spooky vibe already.
So they go there to have a smoke.
That's what he says. find a spot behind some trees, trying to be discreet. But they aren't alone for long.
Footsteps again.
Footsteps again. And 2 guys appear. Early to mid-20s, he guessed.
And the interaction was off.
Totally off. One of them makes some weird comment like, got enough to share, referring to the smoking, then offers them drugs. Some kind of pill,
Okay, definite red flags there.
for sure. Our narrator said he felt really uneasy, but he didn't really confront them, just sort of mumbled something non-committal,
Passive, maybe a bit intimidated.
probably. The guys eventually wandered off, so he and his girlfriend go back to, trying to have their quiet moment.
But the feeling's still there, that unease.
Yeah. And then his girlfriend lights up again, and he glances over and sees one of the men.
Oh no. Which one?
The talkative one apparently had a green mohawk. He's just standing behind a tree maybe 20 feet away, watching them.
It's just watching. That's incredibly unnerving.
And then, right after that, they hear a loud snap, like a thick stick breaking really close to where the guy was hiding.
Like, that's enough. Time to go back to the rig.
Definitely. They decide, yeah, let's get back to the lights, the people. They start walking out of the woods.
The encounter isn't over, is it?
Not even close. As they come out of the trees, there they are again. Both guys standing there.
Waiting for them.
Seems like it. And this time, he said they had these really creepy smiles, just staring.
Huh.
And then they notice
There's another one.
a third guy, sort of lurking behind the first 2, partly hidden by another tree.
3 of them now. This is escalating.
Big time. He feels this genuine threat, calls out a quick, no thanks, trying to be polite but firm, and basically grabs his girlfriend and hurries back towards the rink, towards the crowd.
Smart move. Don't turn your back.
That's exactly what he was thinking, where they might have a weapon or something. You get back to the bleachers, safety in numbers. Huge relief.
Thank goodness. But it didn't quite end there either, right? The drive home.
Yeah, this is maybe the weirdest part. They're driving home later, and a car pulls up behind them, tailgating like crazy, aggressively.
Oh, man.
Then it starts honking its horn repeatedly. He looks in the mirror.
Yeah.
He's convinced it's them, the 3 guys from the woods.
They followed them or waited for them.
He thinks they waited, found their car. Now they're following them, harassing them on the road.
Terrifying. What did they do?
Pure luck, they see a police car parked on the side of the road ahead. They pull up right next to it.
Okay, saved.
You'd think. They roll down the window, practically yelling to the officer, "This car behind us! They're harassing us!" Pointing back.
And the officer...
The officer just nods, like acknowledges them, and then rolls up his own window.
What? Did nothing.
Nothing. Just sat there. The car behind them eventually drove off. But can you imagine the police just ignoring it?
That's almost as unsettling as the guys themselves. That feeling of being completely unprotected.
He said the fear from that whole thing, especially the car part, stuck with him for weeks. Just that lingering sense of threat and weirdness.
Understandable. Completely understandable.
Okay, one more story. This one involves younger kids, which adds another layer of unease, I think.
Right, this takes place in the woods again, but in a clearing they used as a baseball field.
Yeah, a group of friends, maybe 11 or 12 years old. They'd made this spot their own little private field. It's late evening, sun's going down, they're finishing up a game.
Sounds idyllic until...
Until 6 grown men walk into the clearing, just appear, and sit down on a bench nearby.
6 of them. Adults watching kids play.
Yeah. Our narrator describes them as being maybe in their 20s or 30s. Not like a threatening gang necessarily, but definitely not the kind of guys you'd expect or want there.
And they weren't just passing through.
No. They just sat there. Silently at first, but then making loud noises, laughing suddenly. But the worst part was the staring.
Just watching the kids intently.
Intently. He said it was this unwavering, piercing gaze from all 6 of them that just felt wrong.
Yeah.
Made all the kids incredibly uncomfortable.
I bet. That instinct kicks in, even when you're young.
For sure. So the kids decide pretty quickly, okay, time to pack up. Even though the men apparently called out, like, oh, don't leave.
It just makes it creepier.
Right. As the kids are leaving, saying bye to each other, they look back at the bench.
Yeah.
All 6 men are standing up now, still watching them. Just standing and staring.
Okay, that's undeniably frightening for a group of kids.
He even says, maybe it sounds silly to be scared of adults in a park, but it was how they were watching. It terrified them.
No, it doesn't sound silly at all. It sounds like a legitimate threat assessment.
So here's where it gets personal for the narrator. His house is in a different direction than the others.
He has to walk home alone.
Well, he asks one friend to walk with him just a little way, just at the main path out of the clearing. Smart kid.
Good thinking, a little bit of safety.
But then the friend turns back, and our narrator is alone, walking through the woods as it gets properly dark now.
Oh, that walk must have felt endless.
He said every sound was magnified. Leaves rustling, twigs snapping, instant fear. He just wanted to get home fast.
Understandable.
Then he hears noises in the distance, laughter, shouting. But it doesn't sound like his friends.
It sounds like
The men, the grown men from the clearing. He starts walking faster, almost running.
heart pounding, I imagine.
Definitely. And in his rush, some baseballs fall out of his bag. He stops, annoyed, drops his bag to grab them, using his little flashlight.
And that's when he hears it.
Crunching leaves, twigs snapping. Right behind him, someone's coming up on him fast. He whips the flashlight around and sees this tall figure. Black hooded sweatshirt, hood pulled way up so you can't see the face, just moving towards him.
Slowly at first.
Yeah, but as soon as the flashlight beam hits the figure, they break into a dead run, straight at him.
Oh my God, run.
He did. Dropped everything, flashlight, bag, baseballs, all of it, and just ran for his life. Didn't look back, just sprinted towards his house, hearing the footsteps pounding right behind him.
Did they catch him?
No, thankfully. He made it to his front door, basically fell inside, screaming for his parents.
And the pursuer?
As soon as he started screaming for his parents inside the house, he heard the footsteps stop, turn, and run back the other way into the woods.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying for a kid.
His parents were obviously freaked out. Immediately started calling the other kids' parents.
Were the others okay?
Yeah, thankfully everyone else got home safe.
Yeah.
Though one of the other friends said he thought he was followed for a little bit too.
So they were potentially targeted?
It seems like it. Needless to say, the kids never went back to that clearing again. Their secret spot was ruined.
And the narrator still feels that fear.
He says the worst part, the thing that still makes him uneasy, is knowing that one of those men, the one who chased him, knows where he lives, followed him right to his door.
That's a heavy thing to carry, that violation of safety right at home.
It really is. So 3 stories, 3 very different settings, a locker room, a park woods, a makeshift field.
But all share that same core element, don't they? Ordinary places suddenly becoming sources of intense fear, real menace.
Yeah, it's about that comfortable familiarity being shattered. The realization that weirdness or even danger can just intrude.
And the impact is lasting. These aren't just spooky campfire tales. These encounters genuinely affected the people involved, left them with lingering fear and questions.
Absolutely. It really makes you think about vulnerability, you know, and maybe about listening to that gut feeling, that little voice that says something isn't right here, even when you can't immediately explain why.
Trusting your instincts, especially when things feel off in everyday situations. It could be crucial.
Well, that's what we wanted to share with you today. Some unsettling glimpses into moments where the ordinary became frightening. We hope these accounts resonated with you, maybe served as a reminder to stay aware.
Thanks for listening.
If you found these stories chilling, or if they made you think, please do give us a like, share this with others, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs.
We appreciate the support.
We'll be back soon with more unsettling real-life accounts right here on Horror Docs. Until then, stay safe out there. Goodbye.